Hello, fellow collectors. Frank here, back with another TTM SUCCESS video. TTM standing for Through the Mail. This is Through the Mail autographs, Through the Mail autograph successes. I get autographs through the mail from sports players. Today I have 4 to share with you. All 4 are former Major League pitchers, and all of them played for my Boston Red Sox at some point. So, looking forward to sharing these with you. Hope you're well today. Let's get right at it. First, we have a 1-for-1 in 13 days. This was no fee. This is out of Santa Clarita, California. We have Mr. Bill Landis on this 1968 Topps. Inscription, Frank, best wishes. Bill Landis, sweet looking signature there. And he did answer a few questions, which I'll get to in a few moments. This is William Henry Landis. He was born on October 8, 1942 in Hanford, California. Landis was a 6'2" left-handed throwing pitcher who first signed with the Kansas City Athletics in 1961. He spent 6 seasons in the Athletics minor league system, except one relief appearance in 1963. He pitched 1 2/3 shutout innings before he was selected in the Rule 5 draft by the Boston Red Sox in November 1966. He spent 3 seasons with the Boston Red Sox, mostly in the bullpen from 1966 to 1968. He pitched in 107 career games, had 7 starts. Landis had 9 career wins, 8 losses with a 4.46 ERA and 4 saves. 169 2/3 in his pitch. He walked 91 and struck out 135. And he did answer a few questions here, which I'm going to get to right now. I'm going to put that right down here. First question I asked him was, who was your favorite catcher to work with? That would be Jerry Moses. Jerry Moses was a catcher with the Red Sox. And what was his most memorable strikeout? He struck out the great Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews. And I had to look that up, and that was the one and only time he faced Eddie Matthews. And he struck him out the only time, and it was... And a little more context of this was during a big game during the 1967 Impossible Dream Red Sox season. This was during the second to last year of Matthews' prolific 17-year season career. He was playing for the Detroit Tigers at the time. And this was at Briggs Stadium in Detroit on the evening of Tuesday, September 19th, 1967. Both the Tigers and Red Sox were vying for the American League pennant along with the Minnesota Twins and Chicago White Sox. The Red Sox, Tigers, and Twins were tied for first place at 85 and 66 with 11 games left in the regular season. Left-handed throwing Landis, who hadn't pitched since August 29th, so it had been about 3 weeks since he pitched, was brought in to relieve righty Jose Santiago by Red Sox manager Dick Williams in the bottom of the 9th, with 1 out, runners on first and second with a 4-2 lead, to face the lefty Matthews, who's brought in to pinch hit for light hit and righty shortstop Ray Oyler. The Red Sox had just taken the lead in the top of the 9th with 3 runs, and a count in the Boston Globe I'm going to share here. So this is the Boston Globe on September 20th, 1967. Landis had right reply for Williams. The Red Sox dressing room at Briggs Stadium was wild. Everybody was shaking hands with everybody else. Mike Andrews was shouting fabulous. Somebody else was yelling beautiful. A few moments earlier, the players who had come out of the game were listening to the last of the 9th on the radio. They kept repeating, "Come on, Landy." And Landy came on strong, so strong that the bear was free. Owner Tom Yawkey footed the bill for the free bear for the second straight night. He had called manager Dick Williams to congratulate him and the team, and to get in some first-hand details. He wanted to know what Williams told Bill Landis in the 9th inning. Landis had been brought in to pinch hitter Ed Matthews with 2 men on and 1 out. I said to Landis, "Do you know what that oblong thing is out there?" Landis said, "Yeah, it's the rubber." And I knew he was all right, Williams told Yawkey. Landis had it pitched since August 29th, but he knew where the mound was Tuesday night. From day to day, if Landis would be with the team. He's expecting a notice for military duty. It's due momentarily. He called his home Tuesday, but the notice hadn't arrived, so he's still with the team. He struck out Matthews. "I threw him sliders, low and away," said Landis. "The first big league game I saw was about 10 years ago in Philadelphia. Matthews was in it. I saw him a couple times in spring training, but this is the first close-up I had of him." After Landis struck out Matthews, Gary Bell came in and got Al Kaline on a line drive to Reggie Smith in center field. So that's an account of the crucial strikeout of the future Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews. And after the strikeout, his catcher Russ Gibson apparently told Bill, "You struck out 500 home runs. If you want to faint now, it's okay." Landis pitched well down the final stretch of the 1967 season as a lefty specialist. During his last 6 appearances in August-September, he did not allow a run in only 4 scattered hits and 2 walks in 6 2/3 innings, striking out 7, helping the impossible dream Red Sox win the AL pennant by 1 game on the final day of the season. As the Red Sox won the AL pennant against the Minnesota Twins on the final day of the season on October 1st, however, Landis was not there to celebrate. It was not on the postseason roster. As Red Sox shortstop Rico Petrocelli was catching the final out with a 5-3 Red Sox win on a little soft pop-up off the bat of Twins Rich Rollins, Landis was at the Army base at Fort Polk, Louisiana, as he had to complete a training assignment commit with the U.S. Army Reserves. Luckily, his commander from Boston let him watch the entire World Series from the rec room. So I thought that was an interesting story, and thank you for your service, Mr. Landis. I know that must have been tough to miss out on the World Series and miss out on the final days of that amazing season. Anyways, thank you very much, Mr. Landis. Next in the box, we have a 1-for-1 in 34 days, no fee out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have Mr. Jim Willoughby on this 1976 Topps. This is James Arthur Willoughby, born on January 31st, 1949, in Salinas, California. Interesting about Mr. Willoughby, he is 3/8 Potawatomi Native American descent, and he was the first player in Red Sox history to be of the descent, and the second one was actually another player, John Henry Johnson, who was a pitcher with the Red Sox, I think in the 70s, late 70s, 80s. His often nickname Willow, his nickname is Willow. He grew up in Castine, California. His great aunt Mimi Echo Hawk was the Potawatomi tribe's chief lobbyist in Washington for years. A right-handed throwing pitcher, Willoughby was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 11th round of the 1967 amateur draft out of Castine High School. He played during 11 seasons in the majors, 71 to 78, 4 with the San Francisco Giants, 3 with the Boston Red Sox, and 1 with the Chicago White Sox. He appeared in 238 career games, 28 of them starts with a career 26 wins, 36 losses, record a 3.79 ERA, and 550 and 2/3 career innings pitched. He walked 145 and struck out 250. In 1975, Willoughby helped the Red Sox win their first pennant since the 1967 Impossible Dream season, working out of the bullpen in a short-handed and bullpen plagued by injuries late in the season. He'd never been a full-time reliever before, but he responded with a very solid season in 75 as he made 24 appearances and went 5-2 with 8 saves and a 3.54 ERA and 48 1/3 innings pitched of work. But he was not used in the 1975 ALCS against the 3-time defending World Series champion Oakland Athletics, who was swept by Boston in 3 games. Nevertheless, He assumed relief duties in 3 crucial games of the 1975 World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. During that era of Red Sox play, Willoughby was part of a group of unconventional types known as the Buffalo Head Society. Started by Bill Spaceman Lee, its number also included Ferguson Jenkins, Rick Wise, Reggie Cleveland, Dick Pole, and Bernie Cobble, among others. These young players came of age in a turbulent and countercultural 1960s, and they took their moniker from Jenkins for Red Sox manager Don Zimmer, a quintessential non-nonsense manager who took over as skipper in 1976 and despised the team's more free-spirited and outspoken ball players. The Buffalo Heads was an organization dedicated to mirth and made it the fabled Elliott Lounge in Kenmore Square to tie a few on. Most of that crew was broken up during the late 70s Zimmer reign. The Red Sox sold Willoughby to the White Sox at the end of the 78 spring training. Of course, Spaceman Lee went to the Expos, and the rest of those guys I mentioned were dispersed as well. Willoughby ended his major league career with the White Sox. He did pitch in the spring training of the Cardinals in 79 and in the minor league systems, the Cubs and the Pirates in 1979. But his career, that was his career right there. So an interesting story there. I know it went on a little bit about that, but I thought that was an interesting piece of Red Sox history there. Thank you so much, Mr. Willoughby. I do appreciate it. Next in the box, we have a 2 for 2 in 23 days out of Tampa, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida. We have Mr. Mike Nagy. That's 1972 Topps, and this 1970 Rookie Cup card. And he did answer a few questions, which I will get to in just a moment. This is Michael Timothy Nagy, who was born on March 25th, 1948 in Bronx, New York. He was a 6'3" right-handed throwing pitcher. He was drafted in the 6th round of the 1966 MLB amateur draft by the Boston Red Sox out of St. Helena High School in the Bronx. After 3 seasons in the minors, Nagy debuted in the majors in 1969 and was the 1969 American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year. In 33 pitches and appearances, 20 of them starts, he won 12 games and lost 2 with a 3.11 ERA, walking 108 and striking out 84 and 196 and 2/3 inning pitch. He had 7 complete games in his rookie season and 1 shutout. Yet, fortunately, he never recaptured that form of his rookie season, won only 8 more games and fractured to 5 more seasons in the majors, 4 of them with the Red Sox, 1 69 to 72, 1 with the St. Louis Cardinals in 73, and 1 with the Houston Astros in 74. He just never quite got back on track after a 6-month stint in the military during his rookie year. Thank you for your service, Mr. Nagy. In his second year, the Burka sack in his elbow popped. He said, "I couldn't bend my elbow, had to put it in a bucket of ice after every game. I don't know for sure, but I may have lost a little something." For his career, he won 20 games and lost 13 with a 4.15 ERA, walking 210 and striking 170 and 418 2/3 innings pitch. He pitched in 87 games, 62 of them starts. And after that, after 4 games for the Astros AAA club in 75, he went south of the border to Mexico, and he pitched 4 very good seasons in Mexico. From 76 to 79, winning 67 and losing 50. With 19 shutouts and a sparkling 2.01 ERA, the best ever in the Mexican League, with a minimum of 500 innings pitch. After spending 1 summer with Reynosa, his remaining 3 with Tabasco, the 78 season in particular was outstanding. He went 21-11 with a 1.64 ERA as he led the league in both wins and ERA. He completed 93 of 124 starts overall, leading the league from 1976 to 78. He also topped the circuit in starts and innings pitched in 77-78. He is quoted as saying in a 2011 interview, "I did so good in Mexico, I thought I was Tom Seaver." So he was the Tom Seaver of Mexico, I guess. "They treated me like a king. The The hotel was paid for with the hotel food car. They had a day for me in Tabasco, Mike Nagy Day. I got a half the gate. While playing in Mexico, he got a few calls from a few major league clubs. The Giants offered him a AAA contract, and the Dodgers felt it was too much to buy out of his contract, so he didn't sign with either of them. However, he did not return to the major leagues and retired after the 1979 season. And he did answer a few questions, which I always really do appreciate. I asked Mr. Nagy, who was your favorite catcher to work with? So the Red Sox catcher, Russ Gibson. What was your most memorable win? First Yankee Stadium debut, won 2-1. So that was his most memorable game. And what do you like to do for hobbies? He likes to golf. So thank you so much, Mr. Nagy. I do appreciate quite a bit. Last in the box, we have a 1-for-1, no fee. I'm not sure how many days. I forgot to log that, but it wasn't that long. It was a pretty quick turnaround. This is out of Austin, Texas, Rio Grande District. This is Mr. Ray Culp on this 1972 Topps with the number 21 inscription. He did answer a few questions, which I'll get to in just a moment. This is Raymond Leonard Culp, born August 6, 1941 in Elgin, Texas. Culp, a 6-foot-tall right-handed throwing pitcher, signed with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1959 out of Stephen F. Austin High School in Austin, Texas, for the biggest signing bonus in Texas history at the time, $125,000. He pitched 11 seasons in the majors with the Philadelphia Phillies, 63-66, Chicago Cubs in 67, and his final 6 seasons with the Boston Red Sox, 68-73. His first year was an impressive one, as he compiled a 14-11 win record for the Phillies and was 8th in the National League in strikeouts, although his control was somewhat shaky. He walked 102. As a rookie, he made the 1963 NL All-Star squad and went on to retire Al Kaline, Frank Malzone, and Carl Yastrzemski around a Leon Wagner single in the scoreless 5th inning of the senior circuit's 5-3 victory. Culp returned to the All-Star game in 1969, pitching a perfect 9th for the American League. He retired Pete Rose on a foul pop fly and struck out Randy Hudley and Tony Perez. He strung together 4 steady seasons for the Red Sox from 68-71, winning between 14 and 17 games in each. Culp had a career 122 wins, 101 loss record with a 3.58 ERA, walking 752 and striking out 1,411 and 1,898 in a third innings pitch. Pitching in 322 career games, 260 of them starts, Culp had 80 complete games and 22 shutouts. Not with the Red Sox either for the 67 or 75 World Series. He did not make the postseason in his Major League career. During one of his best years in the majors, 1968 with the Red Sox, in which he won 16 games and lost 6 with a 2.91 ERA. He had a very notable big fan, and that would be his biggest fan was actually the president, Lyndon Baines Johnson. President Johnson, admittedly not a big league baseball fan, had been a fan of Culp for years since he was a kid in Texas. And I came across this in an article from the Morning Call newspaper in Paterson, New Jersey in 1968, and kind of give a cut of that he's been, pretty much that President Johnson had been following him since he was a kid who signed with the Phillies out of Austin in 1959. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting fact as well, and he did answer a few questions. I do appreciate who was your favorite teammate. He named a few people. He had Cal Kuntz. He played with Kuntz he was a pitcher. He played with him in the Cubs in 67. And the Red Sox in 70-71. And John Boozer, he was a pitcher as well. He played with him in the Phillies 62-66. And Cookie Rojos was a infielder, outfielder, utility guy. He played in the Phillies 62-66 with them. And of course, we got Collier Skemsky, Yaz, the man they call Yaz. They played together with the Red Sox, and toughest batter struck out, Hammond and Hank Aaron, and more. So he struck out Hank Aaron 18 times in 71 plate appearances. Pretty darn good there. And what are your hobbies? Golf, saltwater fishing, nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Help. I do appreciate it quite a bit. And thank you very much, Mr. Bill Landis, Mr. Jim Willoughby, Mr. Mike Nagy, and Mr. Ray Culp. Thank you for joining me. I know a little longer video today. Man, these guys have such great stories. I have to share them. So I'm glad you stuck with me. Hope you enjoyed another TTM Success video. All have a good week. Take care. God bless. Peace.